We got off on the African honeybees. We talked about the brood cicadas. We talked about the lantern flies. And, of course, the spiders are the scary thing. But see, what got me into this, there's a number of things. One, it was a tip from a listener that sent me all this information about the Joro spiders, which I thought was creepy. But I knew about a number of other things that are going on that, made me think this is an important topic for a number of reasons. Not just that bugs are scary, because they are. I mean, I don't know. Is it wrong to say that you're afraid of bugs? Certain bugs? I mean, look, there are a lot of bugs that don't scare me. Ladybug? No, I play with ladybugs. They crawl on my hand. I love them. They're cute. Caterpillars. The caterpillars that turn into monarch butterflies, little furry guys that turn into moths. They don't scare me. I can hold a snake, no problem. Sometimes if I know that the tarantula is not going to hurt me, I can play with a tarantula. It's not going to be a big deal. But spiders and stink bugs, and there was something when we were kids that used to scare the hell out of me called a sand puppy. They were all over the deserts of Utah. We were like, ugh. They were ugly. They looked like, aliens. Like I was talking about the Xanthi Misfits earlier, the creatures from the old TV show Outer Limits. And then I was reading that the sheer number of insects compared to humans, oh my gosh. It's hard to fathom that when you look at how there are 200 million insects for each human on the planet. 200 million. 300 pounds of insects for every pound of human that's on the planet. All right, think about that. I mean, we're told that due to global warming or climate change or whatever, we're seeing that there are a few bugs. The bugs are declining. A lot of them are. The bee colony, the colonies are breaking down and all that. But still, though, I mean, with humans being blamed, I mean, the bugs are going to squish us all. That is, if we don't eliminate them through hybridization processes and other problems. And, of course, the conquering worm. We all remember that, the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They crawl all over your mouth and snout. But you're looking at what? 10 quintillion insects on the globe. 10 quintillion. That's 10 and 18 zeros following that. That's creepy. That's a creepy thought. Within 300 feet of you, there's always a spider somewhere. Within 300 feet. You don't see the spider. You don't pay attention to it. You tune out. The only time you start worrying about it is when you start seeing it creeping along. And that's when it gets scary. The whole bug thing, the whole spider thing. And, of course, these Joro spiders, man. I'm glad I'm not living on the East Coast because they're supposed to come down. And as I was reading about these bugs, and I was reading about all the movies that terrified me, from Mimic to Them to the giant spider invasion to, Bug, the William Castle film. I was thinking about all the stuff I've been talking about the past few days, and somebody even wrote me and says, you're beginning to sound like a Baptist minister. Well, look, if it fits, it fits. And if there's this X-Files type apocalypse going on, I want to be able to report it. And, even though that, I've been talking about this stuff, when it comes to speaking about the Earth's expiration date, it's science and scientism that does a better job of pushing the envelope. I mean, they're ludicrous preaching about climate science and how we're all going to die a horrible death. It's becoming more dated as we're facing far more horrors than the ongoing war in Ukraine and possibly a nuclear biological war. Think about that for a moment. Climate change means absolutely nothing if a nuclear bomb creates nuclear winter or if a biological agent gets released. Today, as I was doing research for the show, I accidentally stumbled upon a study that was released in 2016. Now, remember the date, 2016. It pointed out that the ongoing melting of the ice caps, we as humans would face extinction by 2026. Of course, they say 10 years in the future. It's 2022 now. So, what, we got, another 4 years, right? So we got another 4 years, according to something that came out in 2016, saying the polar ice caps are going to be, the humans are going to be extinct by 2026. In fact, scientists back in 2016 were saying that by 2021, we would see the die-off of humans, and by 2026, we should all be dead or dying, and that the earth would be taken over by insects. Now, the elite managed mainstream narrative in the year 2016 began their fear-mongering about the end of the world. They talked about the climate time frame by indicating that there was a group of courageous and prominent climate scientists who offered compelling climate science evidence that human beings, along with millions of other species, will be extinct by 2026 and perhaps as early as 2021. And in response to a projected 10 degrees Celsius increase, global catastrophe will result, and that we need to lower the temperature by then or we're all screwed. So here we are in 2022. So far, we've been struck by a plague. Now we have the plague narrative. It's going away, but it's probably going to come back. It doesn't want to leave. Millions have died, of course. At least that's what they tell us. And I'm sure that there are many scientists that wish to make it the argument that this all happened because of climate change. Well, in 2026, if 2026 is the year for the end of the world, I'm not really sure that the end is going to be all but certain, but just because temperatures are going up. It's going to be something that we'll not see coming. And an example of this is, I don't know if you know this or not, but there was an asteroid that actually hit the planet recently. The asteroid struck the Earth over the weekend. It was that was 2 hours before it was discovered. It struck the Earth near Iceland, actually. It was 2022 EB5, according to the scientists, saying that it was half the size of a giraffe. That's why they described it. Some in Iceland reported hearing a boom or seeing a flash of light around this time. So it seems like for whatever reason, near-term extinction is on the mind of scientists.